have kept quiet on this issue for far too long, and I know that a lot of people are too cowardly to tackle this particular thing, but I cannot stay silent anymore. Cake pops are disgusting. They are an abomination. They are the culinary equivalent of sweeping your floor, gathering the dust, hair, and little poo balls that your chihuahua leaves behind, and then dipping it in chocolate and selling it for $8. Let's start with the basics, because apparently society needs to be reminded what cake is supposed to be. Cake. Glorious, fluffy, buttery cake. It's supposed to be light, soft, moist, and filled with the joy of birthdays, weddings, and office parties where you pretend to like your coworkers. Cake is the food of celebration. Cake makes people happy. Cake pops? Cake pops are what happens when cake dies and someone refuses to let it go. They're necromancy with frosting. You take a perfectly good cake, you crumble it up into dirt like you're destroying evidence, and then you mix that dirt with frosting until it becomes a sugary, greasy mud ball, and then you shape it into a sphere like some kind of dessert meatball and impale it on a stick. Congratulations, you just made being lame portable. Every time I see a cake pop, I imagine someone whispering, "Oh, we could have had cupcakes, but we chose violence instead." They taste like your dog getting run over in front of you. They taste like someone made a cake, forgot it on the counter for 2 weeks, and then said, "Oh no, it's dried, let's make it moist again." But instead of adding butter or milk like a sane person, they decided to mix it with icing glue until it had the texture of wet cement. That is not cake! That is drywall compound with sprinkles! And let's talk about texture, because that's where cake pops really offend the senses. You take a bite, expecting nice, crumbly structure, maybe a soft sponge. What do you get? A dense, damp, doughy lump that squishes instead of breaking apart. It's like biting into a stress ball. It tastes like diabetes. You don't chew a cake pop, you endure it. You have to gnaw your way through that outer shell of hardened chocolate coating with a little sprinkle of dust from where it's been sitting there all day. And it cracks like you're breaking into Fort Knox, only to discover the inside is this wet, sticky sludge pretending to be dessert. The contrast is so weird, it's like eating a chocolate-covered towel. And let's not forget the way they look, how they dare to look. People decorate cake pops like they're the Michelangelo of disappointment. Little unicorns, little snowmen, little pumpkins, adorable. Except when you actually eat them, and then they all taste like sweet sadness and failure. No matter how much glitter or junk you slap on top or underneath that cute little exterior, it's still the same cold, clammy horror on the inside. It's basically edible taxidermy. "Oh, look, I made a cake pop shaped like a panda." Great, not only did you murder a panda to make that, you murdered cake. And why are they always so sticky? Every time I pick one up, I feel like I just handled a glazed donut and lost the will to live. They get chocolate fingerprints everywhere. You can't set them down because they're round, so they'll roll off the plate like sugary tumbleweeds of shame. You can't give them to a kid because the kid, they'll throw them against the wall like a wacky wall crawler. And that stick. Oh, the stick. The stick is the biggest lie of all. It's supposed to make it convenient, right? Like, oh, look, it's a cake you can eat on the go. No, it's a cake you can drop on the carpet. Cake you can smear in your car seat. Cake you can fling across the room like a medieval weapon when you realize how vile it tastes. And somehow the stick is sticky too, and I know sticks are supposed to be sticky. They're sticky, they're sticks. But not sticky. How? It's not even touching the frosting. Cake pop physics are broken. You ever buy one from Starbucks? You're standing there trying to get a coffee or tea, and you see them in that little glass case, those tiny little orbs of deceit, staring at you like, "Come on, treat yourself." And then you look at the price tag and you realize they're like $8. $8 for a golf ball-sized portion of recycled dessert trash. Do you know how much actual sheet cake I could buy from the grocery store for $8? An entire one, if it's on clearance. But no, we are paying gourmet prices for what amounts to sweetened paper mache. It's like the culinary equivalent of NFTs. Overpriced, overhyped, and nobody can explain why they exist. And the flavors: vanilla, chocolate, red velvet. Lies! Every single one of them tastes exactly the same. The taste of sugar and repressed childhood trauma bubbling to the surface. The only difference is the color of the candy shell. You could blindfold me, hand me 10 cake pops, and I would just keep saying, "This tastes like crap too." And don't even get me started on the people who say, "Oh, but they're cute." Cute? So are poisoned dart frogs. I'm not going to eat one of those either. Look, I get it. Cake pops are popular because they're fun and quirky and Pinterest friendly. They look great in Instagram photos next to your latte art and your fall sweater, but that's all they are. They're props. They're edible decor. They exist so you can hold something cute in a picture, not because anybody actually wants to eat them. So if you go to a party and the dessert table is full of cake pops, that's your cue to leave. Nobody who truly loves you serves cake pops. That is the dessert of emotional detachment. That's the treat people hand out when they want you gone before the real cake comes out. And the worst part, somewhere right now there's a baker, a perfectly good, decent human being forced to make hundreds of these sticky little spheres for a wedding or a baby shower, muttering underneath their breath, "I went to culinary school for this." They're hand-rolling each one, dipping it in melting chocolate, decorating it for hours, and for what? So some influencer can take a bite, make a face like it's delicious, and then throw it away off camera. Cake pops are the death of culinary artistry. At the end of the day, cake pops represent everything wrong with modern desserts. It's style over substance, cuteness over flavor, and sugar over soul. They're not cake, they're not candy. They're edible Play-Doh. If Play-Doh tasted worse. If you want cake, eat cake. If you want candy, eat candy. But don't Frankenstein them together and call it gourmet. Cake pops are the culinary equivalent of mixing soda and milk and saying you've invented a new drink. No, you haven't. You've just ruined two perfectly good things. I don't wish death on anyone, but I do wish death on the cake pop. May they roll off the counter and into the trash, and then back into whatever frosting hell they came from. Let us once again live in a world where cake is celebrated and not mutilated, where frosting belongs on top, not inside, and where desserts don't come impaled like medieval snacks. Raise your forks, my friends, not your sticks. Long live cake! And may cake pops burn in icing-coated hell. Do you like cake pops? What's wrong with you? But if you do, please let me know in the comments below and tell me what an idiot I am. I mean, I know I'm an idiot. I'm comfortable with the fact that I'm an idiot, but you know what? I'm a cute idiot. And I'm a cute idiot with good taste who does not like a cake pop because they are indeed gross. Also, after you leave your comment telling me what an idiot I am, click on that Patreon link. You can support us for as little as $5 a month. You can also become a YouTube channel member. Either way, you get these videos early and you're going to be getting all kinds of cool goodies nobody else gets. I don't know how cool they are. I think they're cool. But I also hate cake pops. And if you like cake pops, you probably don't think that what I think is cool, even though it is cool and cute. And of course, like, share, and subscribe. And don't get a cake pop. If you're at Starbucks, get the chocolate croissants. Now that's awesome. I also didn't get paid for that plug, but you know, Starbucks, if you want to, let's talk.